Good morning, everybody. This is the 53rd segment of Think Before You Speak, the laws of Shemirat Halashon with clarity. Leilu Nishmat, the Hafetz Chaim Zechet Tzadik L'Bracha. Leilu Nishmat, Luz Alizabat Henriette, and her children that passed in the fire, Ruach Hashem Tenichen Began Eden. As well, these halachot are dedicated for the Hatzlacha and the Shmirah Gdolah of Bnei Chabura for Klal Yisrael, and specifically dedicated for the Hatzlacha and the Shmirah Ma'aliyah for Chaim Davido ben Chayesar. Today's halachot are titled Danger Zone. Now think about this for a minute. You know, it's now the holiday season, and it comes around the time of Chol HaMoed. People love finding entertainment to go to all different types of venues, to bring their kids and their friends to go out, get a little bit of an enjoyable vacation time on the Chol HaMoed events. So you found out that there's a certain concert going on in town. And you know that everybody loves this singer. And this singer is being put out as a religious concert. And just then, you find out that the rabbis of that particular locality put out a letter that no one should go to this concert because this particular singer is not really the religious singer that they're making him out to be, and the concert itself does not have the vibe nor the surroundings of where Yireh Shamayim should be found. Now you know about this. You know that the rabbis just condemned going to this concert for many obvious reasons. Sometimes these concerts can get out of hand, and sometimes, God forbid, all types of averot could happen at such places. Now you know a good friend that's going to the concert in spite of the fact that the rabbis put out this letter. What are you allowed to do now? Are you allowed to go up to this friend and start telling him the real truth behind this singer as not really being the Haredi, religious type of an entertainer, and how the concert that's being made out to sound like a nice Chol HaMoed religious family event is really going to turn out to be a festival of Averot? Are you allowed to go out and say the details of what you know, what happens sometimes backstage in the scenes of such a type of a venue? The halacha states that if you hold to the constructive purpose of what one is allowed to speak, Lashon Hara, to avoid a friend from a danger zone and a pitfall of his ruchaniyut, then you may actually do so. You're allowed to walk up to your friend and say, hey, listen, the rabbis, when they put out that letter against this singer and against this concert, they knew what they were talking about. And then you're even allowed to tell him at that point, if you see he's not convinced yet, you're allowed to actually tell him certain things about the singer that is not proper, that you know about firsthand, and that you had to see with your own eyes. Remember, you cannot be hearsay. Remember the requirements for constructive Lashon Hara. You had to see with your eyes. You cannot exaggerate. You have to know the information firsthand. But once you get past that, you're allowed to tell him the Lashon Hara about the singer in order to avoid him from falling into the pitfall of this danger zone of going to this type of a place and not fall into the averot that's prevalent in such places. And if that's the case, it shows you that not only when it comes to physical danger are you allowed to speak Lashon Hara for a constructive purpose, but kal v'chomer for a spiritual danger as well. This guy's Olam Haba is on the line. Sometimes we know stories, people that were on a good path and they were doing great and they had such a bright future, and it was one night, one instance, one vacation, one concert that threw them down a very bad ditch, and they were never the same after that. And you could have saved them. Al ta'amod, lo ta'amod al dam ri'echa. Your friend is in a danger zone. Maybe not physically, maybe spiritually, but his olam haba is on the line. Kolshken, that you're allowed to go and tell him the Lashon Hara as long as you meet all the constructive points. Thank you for listening.